Hi, I'm Lucinee. I'm sitting here with New Frames and Ben Mono, and we're going to talk about the Remixed EP, also featuring a remix by JKS and Brutalismus 3000, who cannot join us today, but we're still going to talk about it, and I hope you enjoy it.
Actually, I think we met Lucy because we loved the track so much.
Yes, well, that was one reason. And then also because she was so kind enough to send us a personal message to thank us for playing her track. And then I thought that was very nice and I was intrigued.
We also loved the track.
That certainly helps, yeah. But also being a nice person helps.
Yeah, we met through social media, actually. I hate
Yeah,
saying
we
that.
also, like, that was like a week. And then we met in person when you played the party.
True.
We would have never met again. If you were an asshole, we would have never met you again.
Likewise.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Then we would have made
But we also...
a diss track. We don't trip and we don't roll.
God. So mean.
And you were the guys who asked me, like, you wanted to do a remix, or you offered me to do a remix.
That was me, largely, I think. When I listened to the track for the first time, I think it didn't come out like in the second lockdown or something when clubs were still closed, and I was desperately looking for a way out of like my own depression, and I wasn't so sure what we were going to play in the future. And I thought that one of the outstanding tracks of that year was the original of We Trip and Roll. And I thought it was so sparse and so it gave you a whole lot of opportunities, the track as it was, because it's not like, it doesn't have 14 unnecessary, elements. It's a basic track that gives you like a palette to work with.
Well, and all the elements are so great and memorable.
Exactly, yeah, totally.
So
it's all you need in a techno track, really, Like
Thank
it's
you.
all there. It's the great vocal, it's a pad, it's memorable. The percussion is on point, the sound quality.
And so it was the perfect canvas to add all of our maximalist, not needed sound trickery that we love to do.
Plus all the, New Frames special effects like the festival breakdown, drop into nothing, one distinct organ sound from the M1. The other producers for like 2 years been working their asses off, utilizing the T99 stab and the James Brown is Dead stab and the Dominator and whatnot. We, thought about like switching it up, bring something back that has been overused in the past, but not for a while.
Also not for techno. It always, like all these digital synths from the 90s live in this house, trance world, and they've never transgressed into like hard techno because they're so iconic that it almost feels like you can't use them. So we had to use them.
That's the trick. The whatever, it's very New Frames to use something that you cannot use, so that is frowned upon. Something that other producers think is like shit, and we can make it work.
So how was it
that
for
sounds
you guys?
Ballsy.
So I think the first time we met was actually via Livka, and it was at the birthday of our agent, Fabio.
Yeah.
He was in Soklapper.
Yes.
I think you played that night as well.
Yes, I played with Livka, but we only met quickly. In fact, afterwards, you didn't even know that we met at this party already, right?
We actually forgot that we met each other. Yeah, that's the thing.
But it was really just a hi and nothing more.
And the second time we met was for a gig where we were sharing the same lineup in Bordeaux, I think. And yeah, we had some good time, especially me taking out your USB stick while you started your set already.
Oh my god.
It wasn't so bad, actually.
It wasn't so bad.
If you would,
felt like a festival drop.
The real drop into nothing.
The real drop.
Into nothing.
Apart from that, yeah, we really enjoyed just playing before you and
Drinking some wine that evening, very good wine.
drinking some good wine and having some time a bit longer than only hello, goodbye in Soklappe. That was actually after we've done the remix and after we finished working on it. So it was good also to exchange about it and to play it.
And what caught our attention, I think what really motivated us in the first place to do it was the vocal. that kind of chopped up, it's got a certain space to it, it's got a certain grain to it. I don't know where you actually sampled the vocal.
That's the best story.
It's the best story.
But stop, because
We can't
they
talk
talk
about
about the Bang Juice track and you talk about
Oh shit! Oh, true.
But we didn't
yes,
say that. They remixed
Oh,
another
no.
track.
Remixed the B-side, yeah.
Oh, true.
But both have their
No,
vocals.
obviously that's.
Where did
But where's the Bang Juice vocal from then?
It's pretty random vocal I found in all my samples. It's
Okay.
from any sample pack. I don't even know.
Vengeance Essentials 3?
No, not this one.
Yeah, really good. Where does the wee triple roll come from? It's really iconic.
Dude, that's our best story.
No.
Because, no, seriously,
Because
the
yeah,
wee triple roll vocal, like our remix ascended from like a good remix to a bananas good remix when she sent me the extra vocals. There's more
was more.
vocals in the, yes, so good, man. And they like it all came together like magic, honestly. And I thought that was it was really magic for me because the extra vocals, they fit so well and they make the track work. I was so happy that I could work with the extra vocals.
I will not say where I got them
Yeah,
but it was from YouTube and it's from a computer game.
The vocal really inspired us in the first place, and it's one of the few remixes we've done where we didn't have to work the vocals. We just literally, we had a first idea with a synth riff and a kick drum and just put the vocals immediately on it, kept the same pattern, maybe chopped it up a little bit at the end of the 16-bar resolutions, but it just really worked as is. Mixed it a little bit in and just worked on making an electro part after, making loads of different signature blame the mono variations. But the vocal just was such a good canvas to start building on.
There was a nice inspiration in the beginning because usually when we do remixes, I think we try to, just like most of the artists, we try to like spot elements that we can reuse and glitch or tweak. And in that case, we get our inspiration mainly from the vocal, which, like Sean said, we didn't touch at all. Yeah, it was quite a surprise for us, but we also get the opportunity to rework more other elements that we would usually keep clean, such as the stabs from your
Yeah,
stems.
it's so great how you work with
And we
all
was
the details.
stretched it with like many different Ableton stretching algorithm, I'd say. And also it was lots of fun to reach up the acid bass line
Actually, yeah, acid was
on
really
the
cool.
on the break part and break beat. It gives this prodigy vibe, I'd say.
I guess.
And it was cool to take your like long acid line, which was super choppy, and to make it more shorty and with more like
Delay and
delayed
stuff,
and reverb on it.
Do you always work together in the studio at the same time, or do you pass things around? How do you handle that?
So usually we have the studio is the base, but we don't work on everything every time together. And it depends on the tracks, but most of the time I'd say that Sean is mostly into the bass and synthesizer sound design. We're more into the drums and percussions. And then when we are together in the same room, I'd say we try to just agree on what we can keep on the track and what one's like and what doesn't like that much, to have this sort of blend of both inspirations.
So you have one project and then one guy works on it, goes away, the other one opens the project, and then when you return to it again, you're like, oh,
Exactly.
I might like this.
You can,
Yeah.
you can just go to the toilets and you don't recognize the track anymore. Like 5 minutes can happen sometimes.
There's only one mouse. I wish sometimes there are like two mouses.
Yeah, exactly.
You should have like two PlayStation controllers.
Exactly, yeah.
No, it's really great remix. I mean, both of your remix. I play them.
The whole
all
record
time.
is very strong,
Yes.
you know. It's a very strong summer record. I'm happy that it comes out at this point in time so that it can be played right now, you know.
Particularly with your pad, the pad that you added in the song, in the remix, I think is something that sounds very 2022 to me. And it's right in the right context.
But also optimistic, you know. Like for me, when I heard the track for the first time, it spoke of an optimism that I wasn't really feeling anymore, you know. I can't stress this enough. Like it really helped me a lot out of my lockdown misery, you know, that I understand wasn't all, it's not that bad, but to me at that time it felt real and it felt like as if it was something that I needed to escape from, you know?
I think what's important to know maybe for this, in this instance, is who is remixing. And it kind of gave us a direction. We knew that JKS would also be on board. And I think we've been listening to a lot of his stuff recently. We're constantly talking to him. And that really influenced us in the way we wanted to introduce that electro part in the remix. For example, it's the same as when you play a DJ set. It's important to actually know with whom you're playing, just so you can adapt maybe the style of your set. And here for the remixes, it was the same.
Yeah, I like the collaboration with the DJ set because you always want to adapt to the crowd, the people, the venue, who is playing before, who is playing after, and at the same time you want the DJ set to be yours and to have this Blame the Mono signature. And I think it's a bit of the same for the remixes, because you want the original track to be recognized, still having your signature sound, signature leads, effects and shots, and it's all about balance, like recognizing the tracks while knowing that it's a banger made by Blame the Mono, by your friends.
For example, there are many times where I listen to a remix and it doesn't resemble in any way the original. That kind of frustrates me sometimes. And sometimes it just resembles too much, and then everybody in the comments is like, oh, it's the same track, this is not a remix, this is a bootleg or an edit.
It can be a frustrating experience either way, if it's too similar or if you feel like you've just gotten like some archive track. We tried hard to keep the things that we find so iconic of the original and put a spin on the elements. For example, I really consciously try to use the step synth that I found so great, but to rework it in some fashion that would make it ours, but would still keep it recognizable. Yeah, that's something I was thinking about a lot as well.
I wanted to have the kick drum switch in our track because we often use two kick drums in the track, which sounds a lot like as if you were, battle mixing the tracks between each other. I don't even know why I wanted the extra organ melody in there. I think it was
just, we always work in these.
No, not for that track. I know for the other track.
No, but to me, we often, as we work separately, we talk a lot about the music that we make.
Yes.
And so we cook up these ideas, and I think at that point of time, we came up with this concept of hard, fast percussion with more melodic and elements that may be considered cheesy in other contexts, and recontextualizing them through the rest of the track. And so I think we just were in that mindset.
But also when we went to Lucy's show at the Anomalie, her set was both very melodic and very driving.
True.
And I thought that had to be reflected in the track, because you played a bunch of tracks that I at this point had never heard before, like for example the JKS jam, the cool one that I hassled you about.
I Want You.
Yes, that one, exactly. The combination of all of these elements, so the track had to reflect that,
That's what I also love about working with the remixer or doing this project together. It's kind of so intimate because you share the sounds and you work both with the sounds, and I don't know, it's very personal. For me, it's very personal to give away my music or my samples for others to work on them. And when the result is so nice, it's just perfect. It's just a nice feeling. I love it.
The track sounds like a jam in a sense, like a hardware jam, and that's what's so cool, is that you've got the original, the hardware jam, and then so many people that actually take the hardware jam and start reworking it.
I think most of it is actually a hardware jam of the track, because at that time I also worked mostly with hardware.
It's like this thing where the track gives you the canvas to add anything on top of it that you think it deserves.
True.
It's just a great canvas. For us, it was a great canvas to add our special spice on top of it.
In our case, I think it was special because I was super happy of the result with the electro part in the middle, while still keeping original elements. Again, the acid bass line is really sick, and both on the original and our remix.
And the wave stab, we never have the balls of using wave stab because everybody does, and you can't sound signature by using a wave stab. And we put it, and it's the first time, and I think last time we'll put a wave stab in one of our tracks.
Rare.
It's so funny because for me, actually, in both tracks, I never heard like rave steps. I don't know, for me it was just sounds or synths, and I chopped them and or I was reversing them.
Yeah, but that's the best approach, because you don't have all that dumbass baggage that you carry around for years and years.
For me it's not, there are no rave steps in my track. Thank you guys for joining me. It was really fun to talk to you. I could talk much longer. I hope you liked the EP and see you soon.